question 3.5. Oh, never mind. We're going to skip this because it's the same question. Would you ever give perfume as a gift? We already did this. Let's forget about it. We can read the answer, and then from now we're just going to stay in recording mode for listeners that would like to kind of review what we've done with the perfume topic. We're going to look up some vocabulary about perfume and about buying gifts and things like that. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. So although I don't prefer it, I would definitely give it as a gift. However, I would make sure that I knew the brand or scent that they like before I buy it. I know that perfume is a sensitive gift to give someone. Perfume is a sensitive gift to give somebody, means that it's not every scent works on everybody. Every human has their own scent, and perfume works with the chemistry of the individual to smell slightly unique on different wearers, and people prefer different scents themselves, right? Somebody may really love Chanel No. 5, which is a very popular perfume. I really don't like Chanel No. 5. Like, I can't stand when people wear it. It just, there's something about the smell that I don't like. It's also that Chanel No. 5 comes in very large bottles, and I think that people tend to put on too much of it versus a little dab, what we call a dab of perfume. We say somebody takes a bath in perfume, meaning they go, and it's like all over them, and the smell is just very strong, right?
Yeah.
And the smell of the perfume then gets on everything. If you hug them, then you smell it. You have that, you pick up the scent from them. So putting on too much perfume can be a problem, right? It can bother some people. Some people are also allergic to perfume. It can set off allergies. Do you know what allergic means? Allergies. Yeah, allergic means either it irritates their skin or it irritates their nasal passages, and they'll like, achoo, achoo, they'll sneeze, right? It will make, yeah. And there are people that are very sensitive to chemical smells of any kind. And since perfume is made up, it's chemistry, it's made of chemicals.
Sometimes I feel also, allergic, as you said.
Yeah.
Perfume with my mom.
Right. If somebody's wearing a lot of perfume, it can bother the people around them, right? I don't like when I go to a restaurant and the person behind me, the table next door, has too much perfume on, or cologne, men wearing cologne, or body spray. Body spray is a big one that people overuse because they spray it on, and it just is an overwhelming smell, which is a great word to use if you were being asked in this topic. Overwhelming means, yeah, can you say it? Overwhelming. Yeah, overwhelming means that it takes over all your senses. It's too much. It makes the whole room smells like you, where, or smells like the person wearing the perfume, and it's too much. And it can bother somebody that might have allergies or might be sensitive to chemicals. It, have a severe sensitivity to chemicals, and that those smells will really bother them. Boys in college, like young men in college and high school, are notorious. Notorious is a good word. Notorious means that they do it a lot. Notorious means that like it's part of their culture almost. They do it without thinking about it. We would say they're notorious for spraying on too much body spray and really creating that overwhelming smell that is not so good. So let's open, hang on one second. And define notorious. Famous or well-known, typically for some bad quality or deed. Los Angeles is notorious for its smog. Smog is the smoke of exhaust fumes combined with the humid air. And it creates, in Los Angeles, it's like a bowl, basically, with mountains around it. And this bad air sits on the city, and it makes the air very, very polluted and unpleasant. So even though our image of Los Angeles is one of the beach and the beautiful drives with the California sun and the palm trees, the reality of the city is that on many days there is a thick smog on the city, and that makes it notorious for its smog, meaning it's well known for its smog. Ho Chi Minh City is well known for its air pollution, right? Yeah, I mean, when I go to,
because it's a big city.
It's a big city with a lot of motorbikes and vehicles driving around, and motorbikes on their own don't, I mean, if you've only got a few motorbikes driving around, you don't really smell them that much. But when you have thousands of them in traffic and you're sitting in that traffic, the smell of all those motorbikes combined is just overwhelming. Again, overwhelming. When I go to Ho Chi Minh City by bus, my eyes start to itch basically as we get close to the city and enter the city. Immediately my eyes start to itch from the pollution, the air pollution. And if I stay for 1 or 2 days, I often get a sinus infection from it. A sinus infection is an infection in your sinus cavities. Sinus infection. Your sinuses are the airwaves that you breathe through. Okay. So when you breathe through your nose, your air goes up and around and then down into your lungs, right? It can't go through your brain. It has to go around. So these cavities here, because of the air pollution that's in in Ho Chi Minh City, I often get sinus infections from it. So if I'm there for 2 days or 3 days, especially if I'm in the more congested areas of the city, I come home with a sinus infection. And then I've got to sometimes have to use medicine to get rid of it. I usually use a saline wash, which is a salt water wash to clean out my sinuses from the pollution, and that will get rid of the infection as well. But if it gets really bad, I end up having to take antibiotics, which I don't like to do, but I have had to do that several times since living here, because of sinus infections. And that's one of the reasons I live in a smaller city without that air pollution issue and near the river where I have fresh air, like just like you live. So that's notorious. What other word did we discuss? Overwhelmed. What? Overwhelmed.
Oh, overwhelmed.
Yeah, to bury or drown beneath a huge mass. The water flowed through to overwhelm the whole dam and the village beneath. So the town was overwhelmed by flood water. Defeat completely, which this is a good one to use in the sports topics. His teams overwhelmed their opponents. His teams overwhelmed their opponents, meaning they were such a good team that they would just beat their opponents. They would win every game, right? Because they were such a good team. And therefore they overwhelmed the other team. The teams couldn't compete against that. You understand? To give too much of a thing to someone, or to inundate, and that's a really good word too, to inundate this word here. To give too much of a thing to someone. They were overwhelmed by farewell messages. So somebody is moving away. They're leaving town, right? They got a job offer to go somewhere else, and they're leaving town. And they were a big part of the community, and everybody sent them messages saying goodbye. We're going to miss you. We love you. And we can sometimes say that that's overwhelming, right? It's like, oh my God, like everybody's going to miss us, and it makes us emotional. So we can be overwhelmed by even good things. We can be overwhelmed by them, right? Like a, a boyfriend might overwhelm a girlfriend in expressing his love for her. And that can sometimes be a bad thing and a scary thing. She might start to have second thoughts of like, oh my God, this guy is like too in love with me, right? He's like, it's too much, right? He needs to calm down, right? He needs to,
calm down.
Yeah, like, don't bring me flowers every day. That's too much, right?
That's too much.
Yeah, so that would overwhelm you. And being overwhelmed has a negative connotation to it, meaning like it's too much. It's just, people are overdoing it. They're overdoing it. Being too strong or overpower, and that's where perfume kind of fits. It can overpower everything else, right? So you walk into a room a banquet hall and there's beautiful flowers out, right? But you can't smell the flowers because there's somebody is wearing so much perfume that perfume is going, it's overpowering the smell of the flowers,
Yeah.
right? Vice versa, there are some flowers that can overpower the smell of everything in a space. Um, there are certain kinds of flowers that smell so strong that that people don't like them inside their house because it's overwhelming. It's too much, right? They put out such a strong scent. And if you have any allergies, again, we're back to allergies. If you're allergic to pollen or strong smells, there are certain flowers that you don't want to give somebody as a gift because you don't know if they're really going to enjoy having them. Roses give off a very nice scent that is usually not overpowering, but I can't think of the name of the flowers. I think it's not lilacs, lilies. I think it's the kinds of, I think there are certain flowers that are just so strong that like I don't like them because of that. I don't like to go into somebody's house if they've got these flowers in the house. Durian is a good example. The fruit, durian.
Durian.
Yeah, the Vietnamese fruit, the giant fruit that's like smells. Do you know what fruit I'm talking about?
Is it yellow?
Yeah, like a jackfruit. It looks like jackfruit.
Durian.
Durian.
No, no, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it is yellow inside, right?
yeah, you can say it in Vietnamese,
Sầu riêng.
sao ring, right? Sao ring.
Yeah, sầu riêng.
Yeah. So
My parents really love this fruit,
do,
durian fruit.
do you like it?
Not much.
No, I have tried to like it. Excuse me. I have tried very hard to like it. I have a rule about I will try everything, pretty much anything, 3 times. I have tried Dorian even more times than that, and I still just cannot get over the taste. I don't like it. It's something that I think you need to grow up with. But what's funny is that they have signs up in the hotels in our area because Dorian grows around our city, right? It's so people come from Ho Chi Minh City and they buy Dorian here and they take it back to Ho Chi Minh City with them because it's grown in this area. But in the market, Dorian is not allowed to be sold in the main market. Dorian is sold on the outskirts of the market. I don't know if you noticed, if you even know that. I know that because I'm a foreigner and I'm paying attention. But Dorian is only allowed to be sold on the outside of the market. So
Yeah, yeah. Because
and
if they let the durian fruit inside the market, like some people are allergic with
yes,
that.
and the smell gets into everything else. It's a smell that will actually go into other food. So if you have durian near other food, the other food begins to taste like durian. It's a very
Yeah,
strange thing. The other thing is that in the hotels here, you are not allowed to have durian in the hotel room at all. And they charge you $150 cleaning fee if you bring Durian into your hotel room, because they cannot get the smell out of the room, which means they lose nights of that hotel room being rented. It takes a hotel room. My understanding is it takes them 2 or 3 days to get the smell of Durian out of the room. And because of that, they lose money on the room. So if you take Durian into your hotel room, you get a fine, from a cleaning fine or fee from the hotel for that lost revenue. So there's an example of a fruit that people love it. And I know people that absolutely go crazy for it. But I have not been able to acquire that taste. The other thing is, I give you an example. There was a wonderful, they closed now because of COVID. They went out of business. Sadly, I was really actually sad that they went out of business. It was an ice cream shop that was importing ice cream from Korea. And the ice cream was delicious. It was so good. Okay. It was great ice cream. And I'm not a sweets eater. So I ate it maybe 3 times or 4 times. And they had flavors that were unique, like were very American. They had chocolate chip mint, and they had Rocky Road, which are 2 very, very popular flavors in America. And I'll show you chocolate chip mint.
Chocolate chip
Yeah,
mint.
chocolate chip mint ice cream. It's green
Yeah.
with the chocolate chips in it. You can find it at some places, but this one had, and it was so good. Okay, it was so good.
So you like this kind of ice cream?
Oh
Chocolate?
yeah, it's one of my favorite ice creams. And then the other ice cream is Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road ice cream has nuts, marshmallows, and chocolate inside it. And it looks like this. It looks like, with the marshmallows and nuts and big chunks of chocolate inside it. And then if you put like a banana with it, oh my God, it's like so good. So anyway, they had these flavors. So I ate there, like I say, maybe over the course of a year, I probably got ice cream 4 or 5 times, because I'm not a big sweets eater. It's like a specialty treat. Once in a while, I'll have it. I'll have a sweet. I still have a candy bar that I bought a month and a half ago in my freezer that I haven't opened. A Snickers bar from America, and it's still in my freezer unopened, because I really don't eat sweets that often. So anyway, I went there a lot for me, 5 times in a year. But the last time that I went there, I ordered the chocolate chip mint, and they had it in the same freezer as the Durian ice cream. And I bit into it, and I could taste the Durian, and I just threw it away. And I was very sad, and I never went back. And then they closed because of COVID. So that was the last taste of that really good ice cream from Korea was tainted by Durian, and was it very disappointing to me. We're going to say goodbye. We're about to run out of time. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot on this lesson. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon on Barefoot English. Thanks, Khan, and see you later.